I guess you should say the fragrance is very noticeable. I mean, fry an egg on top of it, serve it with potatoes. I mean, so we're going to show you all these different ways.
You could do like a huevos rancheros kind of style, or you could do a sloppy joe with it.
Oh yeah. So okay, now this is our
white bean
chili.
This is made with chunked pork.
Hi, this is Judy Keys, and welcome to Cooking for All Seasons. And this is my sister, Debbie Smaxwell. And she has assisted me and cooked with me many times before. And if you can hear noise in the background, that's my brother who has come here today and will be on the show later, and my parents. So this is sort of a family affair today. Not to mention all my other friends, my sister's husband and her daughter. One of her daughters. Today, well, first of all, let's do this. I want to really thank La Crusade, as usually they're wonderful people, and I'm using their pots and pans.
They're in the oven.
They're in the oven already. They cook beautifully, and they're so gracious to sponsor.
They're really
show.
Great for what we're preparing today.
Yeah, because you can put them in the oven and they stay hot for like a really long time. And we're doing chili, but this is not your. Okay, this is a problem. We can't quite figure out what to name these chilies.
Well, it comes from. It's a very different flavor, and it comes.
Yeah. Well, one of them's like a over the top flavor. Most Californians have never had this chili before. The other sponsor is Trader Joe's, and not only they were a sponsor, but they were my taste testers. Okay. The other person that's here too is obviously my husband, who's out there too in the vast audience. So, but Trader Joe's was gracious enough to sponsor the food, of which I cooked and made them taste.
And then they got to taste it.
And then they tasted the chili this one chili that Californians aren't used to eating, and they all loved it. So I'll say it now, if you guys get a chance, go down to, if you're not sure about making this chili, go down to the Trader Joe's in Morgan Hill and ask them about the chili that you saw that we made on Cooking for All Seasons. Okay, so anyway, we got that out of the way. I just want to make sure that we address that. Okay, on to it. Now, the one chili that we're going to make first is from Cincinnati.
Well, actually, it's a chili that my kids, well, 2 of my 3 children grew up eating during the week when we'd be out doing different classes or whatever, have stopped for lunch and happened to be convenient. And it's, can I say the name of it? Is it okay?
Sure.
It's from Cincinnati. It's called Skyline Chili.
Because I think people out there, I mean, there's going to be people who's going to recognize.
Oh, right,
that,
right.
You know?
In fact, it's kind of, if you're generally from another part of the country, you always have some craving. You always say, oh, I wish I had the sliders from White Castle, or, which you can get in the freezer section these days, or, Skyline Chili, which I think they may even do. I'm not sure. But anyway, originated from Cincinnati, and it's sold all over the Midwest, which is where we ate it growing up. And it's interesting the way it's served, right?
Yeah,
Did you want to go into that?
So I thought, Californians, we don't eat this chili because we eat more chunky chili, I would say, more beans and chunky meat type chili. This chili is, their chili is chili over spaghetti. That's how they cook it. It's called, I have it written down. They do a 2-way chili, always 2 ways, chili with cheese, always. It's always 2 ways. Okay.
And the cheese, in every way that it is always on top.
Is always on top, as opposed to Californians who stick it everywhere they can.
Okay. Cheese.
The cheese. 3-way chili includes spaghetti, chili sauce, and finally grated cheddar. Now, the chili sauce, I'm thinking is like what we get
In a jar?
in a jar.
No.
What are they?
Well, this
Or they-
is
or do they use-
what they call the chili sauce is, in other words, what they're
that's the
calling
chili.
chili sauce
I'm
is
it's
actually the
is
chili.
See, hello.
That
Ding,
is
ding,
the
ding,
chili.
ding,
Yeah,
ding.
yeah.
That is it. It's like they call it chili sauce, but and we're going to show you how come they call it chili
Well, it's
sauce.
because it's probably more resembles like in its
It's real
texture,
finely grated.
a meat sauce spaghetti than an actual
Yeah.
hearty chili that we're generally, eat in this part of the country, and I think actually across the country.
And a 4-way includes spaghetti, the chili sauce, of which
Cheddar cheese.
and onions. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And a 5-way includes spaghetti, kidney beans, chili sauce, cheddar cheese, and onions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we're going to take it to a new level because we're in California and we always take everything to another level. Right?
It's true.
So we're putting it over nachos because I think it tastes awesome over nachos. And that's what I had Trader Joe's test, and they loved it. They put it over nachos, and they went nuts. Okay, my idea was to put it over a tortilla, slice an egg, fry an egg on top of it, serve it with potatoes. So we're going to show you all these different ways.
You could do it like a huevos rancheros kind of style,
yeah.
or you could do a sloppy Joe with it.
Oh,
you can
yeah.
put it over all. You could.
Once your kids get a hold of this stuff, you're going to be making it every week.
Yeah, you can.
And it's an inexpensive thing.
Well, and you can make a big double batch of it and freeze small batches.
Oh, yeah.
And freeze small batches of it so the kids can take it out. I think
Okay.
that's a nice thing to do. So this is what's unique about this one, though. It starts with cooking the meat in water.
Yeah,
which
this is a
an
quart of
unu-
water, 4 cups of water, nothing else.
And
this is 2 pounds
Of
of
ground
ground beef. This happens to be 12% fat. Use
88.12.
Yeah, use whatever you like. I think personally you could use pork. Personally, you could use chicken. Personally, you could use turkey. I don't think so. With
I think really.
I don't think you could use lamb. I think you could use any of the ground meats or a combination of them. And the reason why is when you see the seasoning,
Yes.
don't you think? I think that the seasoning.
I think the beef is the best foil for it, to be honest with you. I mean,
Yeah.
I really.
Or you could use half beef, half pork.
You could probably even use like tempeh or textured soy, but you'd have to adjust the recipe if you are a vegetarian. You could do that.
Well, yeah, because there's nothing else. What else?
Well, no. What I'm saying is, it could be.
Oh,
it
definitely.
would be kind of a neat thing to adjust to a vegetarian diet. Obviously, not a vegan diet because of the cheese, but a vegetarian diet.
Well, yeah, but they use soy cheese or something like that.
That's true.
So yeah, you could try it because when you see what we're going to put in this, as far as seasonings, you're going to go. You're going to think that it's going to be more. It definitely has a mole.
Well, I think it's a kind of a cross between maybe
Here, I'll put it in the
a
sink.
mole and kind of a little Middle Eastern, or
It's got
what am I thinking? Moroccan,
because it's got that
because
cinnamon.
it's got some Moroccan style
Yeah.
spice in it, which is it's just different. And I think what the point is that you want to really try it. And those of you who have eaten Skyline chili, you'll go, oh my gosh, I can't believe I finally got the recipe.
Yeah, because this is the one that they put over the hot dogs.
Yeah.
That you're like going, oh my God, I
And this
can't
is really-
believe
yeah.
this.
And then you let this boil like this, right?
Yeah, and
Or-
we're going to let it boil for a few minutes. Normally, you'd let this boil for like 30 minutes. And the reason why is that the whole idea of this is that you want the meat, the whole cooking time after this boils for a half an hour is another 3 hours. So the whole idea of this is to really get this separated out, these little tiny...
It's fine. It's
till
a
it's
fine meat
yeah,
sauce, kind of, is really what it is.
it's almost mealy. It's almost kind of.
Well, it has a
different texture than.
You definitely don't want to substitute chunked meat for this. This is not a recipe.
No, you can't put like cut up squares of,
like we are going to do for our next segment. This
the white bean chili is different, but this is definitely. But that's where I definitely think you could take this into any level, because when you guys are going to see all the different spices and stuff we're going to put in this, and your kids, I'm telling you, they're going to love it. And it's great. I tell you, this is great for a party. You make a huge thing of this.
So it's reasonable. I mean, it's a really great way. This is good. You can make this and tailgate with it. If anybody's into tailgating around here for, I don't know, high school football's probably done, but for whatever. And
you know what else I just thought of this? We're going to put it over French fries, but this would be great over a baked potato with cheese and stuff.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And that would be great for a tailgate, because you could bake all the potatoes first.
Yeah.
And just bring them warm.
Yeah, you guys don't have Golden Corral here where we just go and buy them already baked by the dozen.
No, when I go to North Carolina, they have such different stuff than we have here. We eat a lot more things that we can grow in our refrigerators.
Grow?
Well,
in your refrigerator, like mold, you mean?
No. We grow alfalfa. And
we do all that too.
I know, but we don't fry very much stuff. They got this thing back there called chicken. What is it called? The chicken place.
Oh,
no, the chicken.
Bojangles.
Oh,
yeah.
I mean, I get off the plane, we go to Bojangles. You're talking mega calories there. But
it's southern and it's fried, and that's just.
But then when we used to go when she lived in Indiana, we used to go and have those pork sandwiches.
Oh yeah,
they're fried too.
Well, they take a pork tenderloin and pound it real thin, and so a piece that's say maybe an inch thick and 4 inches in diameter gets pounded out to about 8 inches, and they put it on a small bun. So it looks really huge.
I can't live back there. I already had a heart attack.
Fair time.
They won't let me live back there. I've been
cut off.
I've been cut off. No, you can't.
It's fair time in North Carolina.
Oh God.
Right. This week is this weekend's the end of the state fair, and it's in Raleigh, of course, as that's the capital. And I was at my yoga class, and all the women were talking about you just walk into the fair area and you just smell sugar, fried dough and sugar. That's all that it is.
Oh, and you know what I like?
Instead of garlic, which is what you more than likely smell here.
And you know what I like? I like those.
Elephant ears?
No, those. They look like a donut. They look like a funnel cake.
Yeah.
Thank you, Jean.
The peanut gallery.
But I don't like it with all the strawberries on it. I like it just the funnel cake. Okay.
Okay.
So I want to show you guys. Can you see this? I mean,
it's cooking now.
It's cooking. But can you see the texture of it? See how you got to really
work it in there.
I mean, normally you don't have to work it as much as we're working it right now, but we're just trying to hurry up.
Well, this is a double recipe too.
No, this is a single one.
Oh.
This is 2 pounds.
My bad.
I have other. This is 2 pounds of meat, or so, and a quart of water. Okay, now.
Do you want me to read off the?
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh.
First of all, 1 large onion, minced.
Okay. Well. Okay.
Chopped.
And I'll tell you something. By the time, next thing is this thing cooks for 3 more hours. So if your kids don't like onions, don't tell them it's in it. They'll never see it. They actually disintegrate into it. So you basically just get the flavor. You won't even know they're in there. So don't.
We have the tomatoes open.
Yes, I don't have them open. I will open them, or Debbie will open them.
2 cans of tomato, small cans.
2 small cans.
These are the 8-ounce cans.
Yeah.
So 1 large can or 2 small.
So this is those are really the most.
Oops.
Okay, now starts the very interesting things. Okay, where? I know I put it over here.
So, also, if you are going to make this, make sure you have everything. Because
Yeah, look at the
know.
recipe first.
it is kind of unusual. I mean, it's not bizarre. It's just unusual that you would put it in chili. Can I just dump this in?
Yeah. That's what's good about this recipe. Let's just use this. You just start putting stuff in. It's not a,
I was trying to be clever, but
you are clever.
there. That's done.
You're my sister.
I'm a clever sister. Okay, that's good.
Yeah, you got it?
Yeah, I'm just going to set them right here.
Okay, the first thing in is ground allspice. Okay, Debbie, what's allspice?
Allspice is
You need a
it's
cleaner?
an actual. I got it. Allspice is allspice. It's a spice. It's not a blend of spices. It is an actual single spice.
And where does it come from? Do you know?
Oh, probably.
It's like something you use. It smells like Thanksgiving.
I don't know.
It always
Let's
smells
see.
like Thanksgiving to me.
It's allspice smells like a combination of clove and cinnamon,
Yeah.
and maybe a little nutmeg, which is I think why they call it allspice. But
Okay,
but it is an individual spice.
But I will warn you, it says a half a teaspoon, put in a half a teaspoon. Don't put in more. Really. Because these
And it's ground allspice.
yeah, these seasonings in this are very pungent.
Well, and this brings up a really good point. And we've gone through this between the two of us many times. If the last time you used allspice was you don't remember, go buy a new one.
Because you lose kind of the flavor.
Because the oils, they evaporate, the intenseness of the spice diminishes, and you might as well, if you're going to go to the effort to make something, make it with the best. It doesn't have to be it's not expensive, and you just buy a small amount, which is, and what's the next thing?
This is cayenne.
This is cayenne pepper, which is ground red pepper. And it's and cayenne, I'm sure everybody knows, is hot. The next is 1 teaspoon of ground cumin.
Oh, this is the bay leaf. I'm
there's
going to
one
stick
bay
it
leaf.
in.
But if you are starting to cook a lot, then buy larger ones. Like
I use a lot of cumin.
But buy small amounts and store them properly. And then if you don't use them up within a year or 18 months, get rid of them and buy fresh. Your food is going to taste better. You'll go, I keep adding it, but I don't get any different taste. Well, that's usually because your seasoning is gone. It's just dissipated. Okay, we've got 3 to 4 tablespoons of chili powder.
I found for me on when I found 3 is plenty.
Okay. This gives it a really beautiful color, too. Now, chili powder is generally a blend of different spices.
Yeah, it actually has cumin in it.
Yeah, it's a blend.
Yeah.
And then this next one is the
next one is the kicker.
This is why you said it's similar to mole, because this next ingredient is cocoa powder.
And I'll tell you, I know. And when I went down to Trader Joe's and I was asking my friend Gary, who's one of the managers down there, I asked him if he'd ever had Cincinnati chili. And he said to me, the first thing he said, I told him I'm making Cincinnati chili. The first thing he asked me was, does it have chocolate in it? So when he said that, I knew I was on the right track. Because, if you've never had, see, you have to, yeah. If you've never had something, I've never made it before, I had to search the internet and sort of concoct what I thought was the best combination of recipes, what I thought would be the best flavor. And to me,
ooh, it's really starting to smell good too.
This was the best recipe. This
can
was
the
the
peanut
best
gallery
combination.
smell it yet? Audible response. Yeah, it really smells good. Well, now the next thing then.
I'm using Dutch. Okay.
The Dutch process.
I'm using Dutch processed cocoa. It's
And it's 1 tablespoon?
It's about a tablespoon. I put a little less because it's a little stronger, I think. Dutch process, regular, whichever one you have. Difference, more fat, less fat.
Yeah.
A little different
It's a little
flavor.
more, it's a little finer flavor. So if you're baking with it, it's going to give you more intense flavor. It also has double the fat content. But we're talking in a tablespoon, 1 gram of fat as opposed to 2 grams of fat, which is, a lot if you're using, a tremendous amount, but not when we're talking about a tablespoon.
Our friends, garlic.
Garlic. Now this is interesting. This is not a recipe where you saute onions and garlic first.
No, this is not only do you not do that, but you don't even saute the meat. I mean, it's boiled beef, which is something that we don't normally. Even when you're making.
Well, it's less fat too. Then when you think about it, it's a lower fat content.
Yeah, you don't put any other oils in it or anything. But I say to put 3 or 4 cloves of garlic in it. You don't want it to. This is not an over garlic thing, but you do want it in there.
Now, the next.
Vinegar. See what I mean? See the combinations of stuff? I mean, it's just kind of like, whoa. So, I mean, if your kids are like really kind of...
Make it when they're not watching.
Make it when they're not
Is that what you're saying? Do you want me to put the vinegar in?
Yeah.
2 tablespoons of white vinegar.
Yeah, I already put the bay leaf in. Okay, this is the other kicker. 5 whole cloves. Now, if you want to...
5 whole...
5 whole cloves. Okay, I just want to make sure you guys know. Can you see these?
This is considered a whole clove. One like this. Sometimes
Yeah.
the little tops are off. That's close enough.
Yeah, no, and you know what? If you can actually get them in the sometimes where the Mexican food is, where the dried seasonings are, they'll come in a little packet sometimes.
Sometimes that's a great way to renew your spice cabinet.
Yeah.
Because they're in the cellophane packages, so you can dump out your bottles of your spent ones,
yeah.
and then just fill it in if you want to keep it in a more convenient type of container for your pantry.
I used to buy
Sometimes I do
cumin
that.
there all the time like that, and Mexican oregano until I got to the point where I was just like using too much of it, and it got. Okay, you did that.
2 teaspoons of Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. The unpronounceable
Flavoring agent.
Of which has, and I know people are going to go nuts, it has anchovies in it. Shh, but don't tell anybody.
2 teaspoons.
But that's what makes the flavor in a lot of dishes where people go, ooh, I could never have an anchovy. No, they don't realize they're eating it, and I'll have to test it. My brother has consumed more anchovies than any other human being.
This is probably one of the only things I've ever. Yes.
Is that true?
Yes.
And I'm looking right at him, and he's smiling because he knows that.
He loves the anchovies. This is one of the first times I've ever seen you so carefully add seasoning to anything.
I know,
this is so funny.
Because
She's
usually
shaking her head. Yes, but
usually I'm like,
we don't cook like this. But this recipe,
I think you really have to be careful.
It's the right balance, so you don't want to, don't fix it if it isn't broken.
Yeah, it has just way too many different combinations of spices that if you were to, I think that if you make it first the way I'll write the recipe for you can get it on the website. If you make it first that way, and then you can decide later what you don't want. If you decide you want less chocolate,
but I don't
think
really
that you
comes out of it so intensely that you'd say that's way too much of this, and the way this is balanced, I think that's the point.
Oh, here, you want another teaspoon?
No, this is fine. It's fine.
What's that?
This is cinnamon.
And that's cinnamon.
Ground cinnamon.
Yeah.
Ready?
So you just, Like I said, if your kids are gonna get nutsy and they don't like all that stuff, make it and they're not looking.
Well, my guess is they're going to really like it.
So they're gonna, otherwise involve them in making it because it is kind of an interesting one to make. And then, you know what? After
Then
all this,
that is
it. And you just let it simmer until it cooks for 3 hours. And what'll happen is, pretty soon, most of the liquid will cook away, and you won't see any of the onions.
just the little bay leaf will be popping out.
Yeah, the bay leaf will be there. And I don't know if you'll even, I'm not even sure if you'll even see the cloves, but if you swoosh it around.
Oh, I don't think so because
I think they may dissipate.
They do. They really break down.
Oh, forgot something.
Little salt.
Little salt, not a whole lot.
1.5 teaspoons of salt,
Yeah.
which is 1/2 tablespoon, which is right here.
So, okay, then
This
we're
is
gonna
kosher salt. So remember that if you're using kosher salt compared to table salt, if it's table salt, I would use less, like maybe 3/4 of a teaspoon or
what?
taste-
Table salt?
Yes.
You think table salt's saltier?
Well, yes,
It's
it is.
denser.
The difference is, and I think I've had this discussion before. It's the size of the granules.
Yeah.
So by volume, the saltiness of coarse kosher salt is less than
But it has a
table
nicer
salt.
flavor.
So ready?
Yeah. You bake with regular salt and you cook with kosher salt. That's what I was told. So, and since I don't bake, I don't have to worry about it.
Well, anyway, no, but that's really an important difference because the saltiness of this would be double the saltiness if I was using table salt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
Okay, so that's it. I mean, really, it has a lot of stuff to it. Can you guys see it? Isn't it? Oh, hi. We have more people. We have people with people. Can you smell it?
That's the clove floating.
Can you guys
around
all, everybody can smell it?
Smells great.
You could, I guess you should say the fragrance is very is very noticeable.
Oh, well, if you have any friends from the Midwest joining you for any
Oh, they're
football games, tailgates, parties, or whatever, they're gonna hug you when they taste this.
Yeah,
because
this is definitely
a unique
flavor.
regional flavor.
So, but we can't figure out. We're going to name it.
Well, because it goes on spaghetti, typically in the Midwest, people put macaroni or spaghetti in their chili. Even if it's not this one, they still put macaroni
Well,
in
see,
it.
okay, this is the last thing. Then we're going to switch over to the next one. When I was younger, we used to go to Bob's Big Boy, and they used to have what they call a chili size, and it was spaghetti with chili and a hamburger, and then cheese, and they called it a chili size, and I loved it. And I often will put, even today, will put, spaghetti or noodles under my chili. And then when I found this, it was like, ta-da! See, it was meant to be.
Well, I think because we're going to put it on nachos and we're going to put it on spaghetti, we
And
could
hot
say,
dogs and French
I think it should be
fries.
nacho average spaghetti.
Nacho average spaghetti.
Little audible response.
Nacho
average spaghetti.
Oh. Okay. Well,
Yeah.
that's what. Okay. All right. We're gonna be right back. We're gonna be right back with.
Took me a long time to come up with that. I couldn't sleep last night.
For this.
Yes.
I'm so. Anyway.
Okay, it's time to go on to the next one, I think.
Yeah.
The next one is completely different.
It's on the other side. All right? Okay, we'll be right back. I don't know about her, but I'll be right back.
Not your average guest.
Not your average guest. All right. Hi. Okay, welcome back. Judy, Debbie,
Chili.
Chili. Judy Debbie chili. Judy Debbie chili. White bean chili.
Yes.
Okay. Different from Cincinnati chili. This is chunked pork. Okay, let me tell you how I started this. I took about
Coffee maker.
coffee
singing to
maker.
us.
Anyway, this is about 2 or 3 pounds of pretty lean pork, though actually I used pork cushions. You could use pork butt, you could use pork loin,
Well,
pork tenderloin. You could use any cut of pork that you want to, depending on how much money you want to spend,
How
or
much
how
time?
fast, or really almost how fast you want to make it.
yeah, because I make it with pork tenderloin at home. I know it's a little pricey, but it's low fat and it cooks fast and it maintains its tenderness. But because this chili you could soak the beans for this if you have white beans, but we bought canned beans that are already prepared. And canned beans will, especially the white ones, tend to cook down really fast.
Yeah.
And they can get mushy. So with this particular cut of meat, we prepared the meat ahead of time and braised the meat first, and then we'll finish the cooking with the beans in it.
Okay, braised means to
Cook with liquid.
cook with liquid. Okay, so all I did was I took about 3 or 4 strips of really good smoked bacon. This happened to be Applewood smoked bacon. Pick the kind of bacon you like. I cooked it till it was crisp, and I drained off most of the fat. Okay, I left a little bit, and then I chopped some onions up, and I put them in, stirred them around. Then I put the pork in there and let it cook for a little bit. And what'll happen is you'll render out some of the liquid from the pork. Okay, then all you do is cover the pork with water or whatever you like. I use water. Some people will use chicken stock.
You could use pork stock
or whatever
chicken stock, water. You could even use beer,
You could use beer.
like maybe part beer, part water.
That would be good. And I just covered it just to the top of the meat, because you don't want a whole lot of liquid in this, because remember, this is going to be chili. And then I just let it cook for maybe about an hour until the pork got tender, and then I put some salt in it. But the reason why I waited a while to put the salt in, because sometimes when you have bacon, some bacon's really salty and some bacon's not salty. I tell you what, and this is the honest truth, I bought low salt bacon. It had no flavor.
Well, especially if you're going to buy that for something where and it's cooked in liquid, when bacon goes into liquid, it leaches out most of the salt. And so what happens is if you bite the piece of bacon, it can taste not so good.
Well, it didn't have any flavor to it. It was low salt.
Well, what does that tell you? The salt is what makes the flavor.
It just had no. Actually, this was the bacon that I used was from Trader Joe's, and it was really their apple smoked bacon.
And it is not cured. It's
it's
uncured.
not cured, and it smelled really good when it was
very
cooking.
good.
Yeah.
And you know what? I find when you buy bacon that's a higher quality like that, you probably tend to eat less of it.
Yeah, I mean,
it's
I didn't
more
have to put very
satisfying.
much in
because you
here.
have like some flavor going on, and it's not the super thin cut either, is it? It's a little thicker.
No. It was.
So
it
it's
was
just-
actually what I would call the average slice. Like it wasn't
Like
the
a
thick-
market slice?
Yeah, it wasn't the thick, but it had the right amount of fat and everything, I thought, and the right flavor. It had sort of, but anyway, I liked it. I really liked the flavor, and like I said, salt. So then I let it cook, as you can see, and I'm sure you can see this. Can you see it? Okay. Now, if you let's say if you had and you were using a pork tenderloin, which is pork that's very tender, and you don't have to do this, then you would just use I would say you might cook it for maybe 15 minutes. Brown it in with the bacon and the onions and
You wouldn't
everything.
really have to let it cook. You would just, I think,
And then pour the.
you would just then assemble the rest of the recipe,
And then just- yeah.
you would not put that. You would not add liquid to cover it.
No,
because you
no,
would
you just brown. You would just brown it,
and it would just already be in its natural
juices and stuff.
juice. Because see, this liquid then does evaporate because it's been
Yeah.
cooked off a little bit. But if there is a little bit of liquid, or you want that, that's fine. It
Yeah.
depends on how
Everybody-
loose you want the chili.
Yeah,
Some people like it really thick, and some people like it real loose,
Yeah. So
more like a soup.
yeah,
And some people like it more thick.
these
So,
are.
you-
Oh, go ahead.
Shall I go ahead and get started on this,
yeah.
and then you can do that?
Okay.
This is a roasted jalapeno, and I'm sure most of you are familiar with using these, but this was put in the oven, wasn't it?
Yeah, under the broiler.
Under the broiler for about 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah, and then I just put them in a paper bag.
And then they'll sweat out, and then it just causes the skin to peel, and you can see how the skin peels off, like that. So just peel the skin off, and then depending on how hot you like it, you can then either remove the seeds or keep the seeds. If that's a personal preference.
Yeah.
I mean, I personally don't add the seeds because
I don't like the seeds
if I have a mixed crowd, there's always somebody who can't handle the heat, because of course the hottest part of a chili is the ribs and the seeds. So so that peels easily. So that's that one. And this is a poblano that's been done the same way. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I get really hot poblanos.
Well,
So
I mean,
also you might want to be cautious of that too.
this is what I've been told. Chilies are, they'll tell you the average so what is it called? The average scale of the SoCal.
Capsicum?
Yeah,
Capsaicin?
Yeah, the how hot that one particular chili is going to be.
But see how, look at.
But it also depends. It's also depends on what part of the field it grew in.
Oh, right.
Now,
And the temperature.
Certain chilies in certain areas of a particular field will be hotter in some areas than in others,
Well,
and it all has to do with the ground and how the sun.
And how it's cross-pollinated.
Yeah,
probably.
I don't know.
So I guess the lesson is basically,
I can tell
if
by-
you are highly sensitive to heat, it's not a bad idea to just give a little taste before you put it in your food.
Yeah, actually, I can tell by when I'm cutting it how much it seeps into my fingers. Obviously, I can cut up a jalapeno. I would not suggest doing that with a habanero. Habaneros are hot to begin with, and then just get hotter. So use.
See, this is what they look like on the inside, and it's very soft, and then the stem just comes right off there. And the neat thing I like to do is if I get them on sale, or if I'm growing them or whatever in my garden, I roast a lot of them in advance, so that you have them already ready to go, and you can pack them in water, or you can pack them in oil and keep them in your fridge covered, or you can freeze them.
Yeah, those make
diced.
really good chili rellenos.
So, you don't want the seeds to the poblano, because that's not really got any flavor to it. I mean, some people really like the seeds for the jalapeno. So that's how that does, and the jalapeno is quite similar. I'm just going to open this and then see what I can.
So I'm just going to. Okay. So while Debbie
gonna
chops those, I'm going to start adding, because this chili also, like our other chili, even though it was a little bit more preparation in cutting the meat and doing all that, it's actually not too much more difficult. The next thing is, if you've soaked your own beans, don't use the liquid from your beans. I rinse my beans.
Well, you have to pick them through first.
Yeah, pick them through, soak them, and then when they've been soaked, before I put them in anything, I still rinse them off.
Well, how I do my beans is I soak them overnight
Yeah.
in the refrigerator, with just water cut to cover.
Yeah.
With about a 2 inches over it, and then I dump that water, filled with fresh water, and then add my seasoning and cook the beans. That's how I've
but
always
to
done.
put into here, I would take the beans out, dump them, and then rinse them. So here, these are Great Northerns, and I'm just going to put these in. So I add 2 cans
Two
of
Great Californians, Great Northerns.
There's some other ones that they make some little these little Mexican white beans, but I couldn't find them. But so use any kind of white bean that you like. The only kind of white bean you have to be really careful about would be a cannellini, which is an Italian or
White kidney beans.
white kidney bean. And the problem with those is they really break up fast.
Unless you want mushy chili.
They get really mushy really fast.
just
Even when
rinse my hands
even when I make like minestrone soup, I always put a can in to cook and then a can at the end so that I have actual beans in my soup. And then the next thing is some hominy. I love hominy. If you don't like it, don't put it in.
You could add an
But
extra
drain
can of
it.
beans.
Drain yeah, you could put an extra can of beans. But I love hominy in this. Some people don't like. I like hominy, and I like the Mexican hominy. If you know, most stores carry it. This is so good.
Okay, so say I just chopping up the jalapeno.
Okay, next we're going to put in this is Mexican oregano, which definitely tastes different than Italian oregano. It's much rougher and much more pungent. And
Much.
And you know, squish it in your hand.
Can you use the other oregano if that's the only
Yeah,
kind
you
have?
could. You could. But if you go over to where the Mexican foods are, you can get a Mexican oregano in a little package. And
Can you use fresh oregano in it?
fresh oregano? I don't think so.
Doesn't have as much intensity.
It just
in the
doesn't
flavor.
have the intensity of you know, of dried. There is a seasoning called espazote that is a Mexican seasoning that's really good, and I didn't get it this time, but you really could put it in. It's epazote, not espazote. It's epazote, and they use it a lot in Mexico, and it's a green, and it's very good. So that's definitely something. Okay, cumin, garlic. Cumin.
How much? 3 cloves of garlic.
Yeah. Yeah. We're in Gilroy. We can use garlic here. We use a lot of garlic. Now this gets its spice not from red chilies. This gets its spice from green chilies. Okay? So,
Oop. Fired.
If you think that you want it spicier, add more jalapenos.
Yeah, or you could put now, we haven't talked about the garnishes, but then for your garnish on top, you could use a fresh chopped jalapeno with
Yeah.
the seeds or however you want. I'm going to go ahead and put
Actually,
the,
we're going to use some pickled jalapenos too. You can.
Can I go ahead and put this in?
Yeah. Okay. Now we got. Okay.
That was the chopped poblano, roasted poblano, and the chopped roasted jalapeno.
Yeah.
So
I mean, tell me this isn't pretty.
it
No,
is.
don't tell me that. Tell
Isn't
me
that
it
what you
is.
said? Don't tell me.
I know.
And
I
then
didn't
so
mean that.
we're gonna. So this cooks for about an hour, right?
Yeah.
At this point.
This cooks for about an hour.
and then you adjust the seasoning.
Yeah.
However.
I think you're probably going to need a little salt in this.
Shall I give it a little taste and see?
Yeah. See, there's not a lot of liquid.
You know, not too much because
Yeah, you have to be really careful. I think that salt, You know, you
I will-
always want to make sure you have enough salt, but you start getting real, the best thing to do for this is to salt it at the end. And
Yeah, I don't, because I think the everything's letting off a lot of its, especially if you're using canned beans.
they have much more
They have a lot more salt, unless you buy low sodium, which you certainly can use. But I find that whenever I'm cooking, whatever and whenever I'm cooking, and I use pre-prepared things such as beans, corn, or whatever, unless I use something that specifically notes low sodium, I'm very careful about how I salt it.
Yeah.
Or bacon, or anything that has cheese too. Because remember, we're going to put
Yeah.
cheese and all kinds of things on top of these. So, you know, someone can always add salt as long as it's not tasteless. I think it's just fine the way it is. I mean, I wouldn't add salt to it right now,
Okay, I have
So.
to taste it.
and you'll see what I mean.
No salt.
She agrees with me for a change. I like that. It's not like that. So then we're gonna put on it. I have fresh cilantro,
Oh, we got all kinds of stuff.
salsa, lime. You could squeeze fresh
We've got some
lime juice
lime
on
juice.
it.
We got
Fresh onion, green onion.
we got all kinds of stuff.
You know, pickled jalapeno. You could use fresh jalapeno. You could put like chopped tomatoes on it if you want to change it up. So it's
You know, we're gonna serve
I'm
it
sure
with
it's
all
probably
kinds
a
of
lot
stuff.
like some other dishes, like I don't know, pozole, maybe a little.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's really, honestly, it's really healthy. I mean, I don't know. Can you guys see? There's like no fat on the top. There's no floating fat or anything on here. I mean,
It's lean.
It's really lean. Like I said, I used. They're called pork cushions, and I got them at Costco. I trimmed them real well.
That's because Trader Joe doesn't have them. Trader Joe's doesn't have
Yeah.
pork cushions.
No. But they have all the other stuff.
So basically, you could add other. If you didn't want the
Well,
hominy,
I
you
would
could
see,
add.
to me-
you could add one more can of beans. So
To me, at the end of this cooking, I'm going to swirl cilantro in here. Because cilantro, you shouldn't cook for a long period of time. You should just swirl it at the end, and then the oils kind of ching. So, we're going to get ready, and we're going to put it out, and we'll be right back with the whole
Spread.
Spread.
the whole nacho average spaghetti and white bean chili.
And white bean chili. Hi, welcome back. I'm Judy. This is Debbie. And this is what we cooked.
This is a nice spread.
Yeah.
This is outstanding. And you know, Judy, the neat thing is,
I
this
mean-
is the only thing that really takes any cooking. Everything else is kind of
Yeah, chop it. Chop it and buy
jars, you know, just a little chopped avocado, a little chopped tomato. The salsa we bought, you can make your own, obviously, but these are all of the additions to design your own chili favorite flavor.
it. Chili favorite flavor.
So
And
my
this, okay, now remember back, this is the, what did we call
Not
it?
your average spaghetti.
Nacho
average spaghetti. Because see, we have the spaghetti here, and here's the sauce.
And this is actually what they make, or very similar to what they make in Cincinnati. And what you can do with this is we can put it over French fries, and then you can dress it up,
Yeah.
put it on hot dogs, dress it up, put it on nachos, and dress it up, put it on spaghetti, and dress it
And then
up.
we have our different, like we were talking about before, the two-way, three-way,
Yeah,
four-way.
two-way, three-way. Oh, I forgot something.
What did you forget?
I have beans.
Well, we can skip that for now.
I'll put them out. You'll see them. I have them. I do have them.
I don't think we have
left
any
them
more
in.
room.
I know, but I do have them because technically you have to have.
Well, you have to have the beans.
I have them, but I put them in the microwave and I'll get them out.
Or the 4-way has beans in it.
Yeah, and I'll get them
But
out.
this is actually kind of a neat thing too because it doesn't have beans in it.
Yeah.
So if you don't want beans,
Yeah, and
you
that's
don't-
what's neat
you don't
about
end up
this.
having them on your plate and picking them out, or someone saying, "Oh, I like chili, but I don't care for beans."
Yeah, that's
Happens.
and I do have them. I promise I'll put them out. So okay, now this is our
White bean.
white bean chili.
This is made with chunked pork, braised, and then with white beans and hominy, roasted chilies, and additional flavoring, classic to a chili flavor. It just is not tomato based, which
Yeah,
is
and it's not
typical.
red chili
And it's
based.
not red chili
It's
based.
green chili based.
And this is just fresh cilantro, and we're just gonna give that a little stir,
Because you don't
just
usually
to
don't,
give it a
yeah,
little
don't
green
cook,
pop.
Yeah, and don't cook. Usually don't cook your cilantro in because it tastes better if you just swirl it in at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So now you've seen it all except for the beans. I'll bring them out. Okay, I got the beans.
We had to break for beans.
I had to break for the beans.
We break for beans.
We break for beans. I want to, first of all, before everybody comes and my family starts eating and everything, and we get
It will never look the same.
never look the same. I want to thank the really nice people at Trader Joe's who not only sponsored most of this food, but also were my taste testers.
Yes.
They were my guinea pigs.
And our great crew.
and the crew,
That we
of course,
love.
always, and the really nice people at La Crusade who keep everything hot for me.
Well, this is really cool though because it's cast iron. It doesn't
Yeah.
it doesn't cool real fast, so it is
Yeah,
a
it's
nice
nice.
thing.
It's really it's beautiful. So I wanted to thank them too for being so generous. So okay, come on down. Where's my brother, Robert? Robert,
There he comes.
first man in. Is he what are you chewing?
I think let's get him a plate.
Okay.
He can start.
Okay. Oh, and I make cupcakes, of which last night I had to fend off my family from eating them.
Yeah. I charged my brother with hiding them just so that she would get really upset this morning, but I don't think he did what I asked him to do.
So this is our brother Bob.
This is Bob.
Hello.
Say hi.
Hi.
Eaters in crime. Okay.
So you're first.
I know
man in.
what Bob's favorite's going to be already. I think you want to try this little pasta
Okay.
with that sauce.
Just a little bit, because I want to have a little bit of everything. There you go.
Yeah. And then we do the sauce on it,
All right.
and then we do cheese. This is how my kids always ate it.
Okay.
Okay, there you go. Put that on there.
Are we picking it up, Dad?
Yeah, there. That's good. Just like that. And then we
okay.
have to have
Have
cheese.
to have some cheese, yes.
Oh, I'm not too
Okay, now
good
wait
too
a
good with
minute.
that.
Wait a
All
minute.
right, little
Wait a
bit of
minute.
cheese.
And then we're gonna do some onion on that because you got to have onion on a dog.
Have onion.
Okay.
Okay.
How about avocado?
Yeah, we're gonna put the avocado on the nacho department.
Okay, now
Sorry.
this is the California style.
Okay.
This is our California
Uh-oh.
build on the nachos.
Okay.
Okay,
The
then.
salsa.
Oh, let's do salsa.
Salsa.
What? Can you hear? Over here more?
Okay, there.
Alright, That's pretty, yeah.
And then we gotta have.
Not some avocado.
Yes, I know my brother, and that's a very important part of his
Some
diet.
cheese. Ooh. So,
And then sour cheese, and then sour cream.
Yikes. Wow. Yeah. So
Okay,
much,
that's the
so
Cal-
much for the diet.
okay,
There.
that would be California.
Okay, where's the French fries? That's what
Can
I'm
put those on the side.
French fries.
Okay.
Chili
You
size.
work
We can
these.
work more. Oh, I guess French fries are the winner here.
That's right. I know you worked hard on these.
Chili size.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
Chili
All right,
size.
that's good.
And then cheese.
More cheese. All right.
Then what about this?
This is a sampler plate. No, I have to just say, what I think is really cool is Judy cut the hot dogs in half. So if you really are doing a buffet like this at home with your friends and family, that's kind of a neat thing to do. I've never done that before.
You want to chill? You want this on there? Okay.
Right there. Okay. Perfect.
And then that has to have this, I
Okay.
think.
All right.
Oh yeah, green onion.
Let's have some green
There you
onion.
go. That's
So
beautiful.
you've got one,
And,
one. Oh,
Let's just
and
make it pretty.
Cilantro.
cilantro.
I'll
And
come back for the cupcake.
Okay.
okay, cupcake. And there you go. Okay, now taste it.
Yum.
Now taste
Where do I
it.
start? Right here.
Wherever.
It's perfect.
You know, I knew you.
It's just like I used to make it.
It's perfect before you even taste it. It's perfect. He knows
Okay, now
what's good for him.
Okay. Yeah.
The taste tester. This is the best job in the whole thing.
Eat it on a French fry.
He's
Yes, ma'am.
getting there.
Yes, ma'am. Okay.
It's good on a French fry.
Nice
huh?
job.
Try the pasta.
No,
Try the
pasta. Okay.
This is like the only time he's actually
It's
done
like the only time I've
told-
ever been told what to do by my sisters.
And he's actually done it.
And I love it. And he's never going to forget it either.
What do you think?
Enjoy it because you have it on film now. You can always remember it.
Okay,
Yeah,
now where's the nachos? Because this is the California style.
Okay.
Going to feed it to him?
Here.
I've learned how to feed myself, obviously.
Yeah.
Yum.
Yum. It worked. It worked. I
Okay,
like it.
so it's good?
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Thumbs up.
Enjoy.
Okay. Bring it on
thank
in.
you.
Thanks.
Thanks, Judy.
Thanks. That was okay. Now we're good.
Okay, everybody, come
I
on
want to
up.
thank everybody. I want to thank all my family. I want to thank the crew. Of course, I want to thank all of you out there. My name is Judy Keys. This is Cooking for All Seasons, and I really want you guys to come out and try this because I really, honestly think that you would enjoy cooking this. It's an easy thing to make, and I think that you'll enjoy it. So, you know,
Go for it.
Go for it. This is all going to be out on the internet on my website, www.cookingforallseasons.com, and look out there for the recipes. Okay. Thank you again. Come on in there. Come on.
Come on, Mom. Here comes
All right.
Mom.
Thank you so much for everybody. Thank you.
Here we are. Bob, come on in. This is our family.
Come on.
Yes, you are. Come on, Andrea. What are you doing?
I know these guys are there lined up and they think that
They're waiting.
They're waiting to eat. This is the lineup.
Here she comes.
So.
All right. Very good. Thanks, Judy, for hosting all of us, too.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. All right. It's feeding time.
Go
Yep.
ahead. Start eating.
It's not hot. Okay. Here, give it to Dad. I'll eat in a bit.
Come on. We're ready.
Come on. Come on.
Andrea is not shy, as you have seen.